大家好，欢迎你回到 CHI 214的频道，我是你的中文老师，我是高老师。现在我们要开始学第16课对话2。第16课说什么？跟我说，约会，约会。If you watch this video and do what it asks you to do, you will be able to accomplish the following learning goals. Number 1, you'll be able to read, understand, and pronounce with correct tones all of the assigned vocab words for next class's in-class quiz. Number 2, you'll be able to read and fully comprehend on your own the textbook dialogue. And number 3, you'll have a basic understanding of the dialogue's main grammar points. And there's one that we'll focus on here in this pre-class video. 准备好了吗？好的，我们开始吧。Let's begin preparing for the next class session by first listening to the audio of all of our new vocab words from Lesson 16, Dialogue 2. And when you hear the speaker pronounce these words, please do try your best to mimic their pronunciation out loud.
Lesson 16, Dialogue 2, Vocabulary.
记得 to remember.
记
To record.
想
To think.
想起来
To remember, to recall.
号码
number
班
To move.
打扫
to clean up a room, apartment or house.
扫
To sweep.
整理
To put in order.
房间
Room.
旅行
To travel.
电
Electricity.
So please go back now and listen to this audio at least 2 more times, repeating out loud what you've heard. Let's move on now to listen to the audio from our textbook dialogue.
Lesson 16, Dialogue 2, Turning down an invitation.
喂，请问李友小姐在吗？
我就是，请问你是哪一位？
我姓费，你还记得我吗？
姓费。
你还记得上个月高小英的生日舞会吗？我就是最后请你跳舞的那个人。你再想想，想起来了吗？
对不起，我想不起来。
我是高小英的中学同学。
是吗？你是怎么知道我的电话号码的？
是小英告诉我的。
费先生，你有事吗？
这个周末你有空吗？我想请你去跳舞。
这个周末不行，下个星期我有3个考试。
没关系，下个周末怎么样？你考完试，我们好好玩玩。
下个周末也不行，我要从宿舍搬出去，得打扫整理房间。
你看下下个周末好不好？
对不起，下下个周末更不行了，我要跟我的男朋友去纽约旅行。
那……
费先生，对不起，我的手机没电了，再见。
喂。
So please go back now and listen to this audio at least 2 more times just to make sure you can understand what both speakers are saying. Now it's time to begin reviewing our new vocab words from Lesson 16, Dialogue 2. So please do scan the QR code on your screen here or click on the link below in the description section of the video to start practicing our new vocab words using Quizlet. Let's look now at the main grammar point from Lesson 16, Dialogue 2. This is how it appears in the text. Leo says, 下个周末也不行，我要从宿舍搬出去，得打扫整理房间。The part we want to focus on here are these 3 characters, 搬出去. This is called a directional complement. So in this lesson, we've already studied 2 other complements, descriptive complements and potential complements. But today, here, we're going to focus on directional complements. And what directional complements are is that they indicate the direction in which a person or an object is moving. And so a directional verb, such as the ones you see on your screen here, is oftentimes placed after another verb to indicate movement. And so if you have a directional verb plus lai, meaning to come, that means that the motion or the movement is coming towards the speaker. Whereas if you have a directional verb followed by chu, that means the motion is moving away from the speaker. So in the example from the textbook, Leo is moving out. She's moving to a location away from her. Let's look at the first pattern for how to use directional complements. If you look at the image here on your screen, you'll notice there's a woman who's going up the steps and she's coming towards us. So in Chinese, we would say 她上楼来. Because we want to describe her movement going up the steps and toward us, we'll use the verb 上, meaning to go up. 楼 is the noun here for steps. And 来 is this directional verb indicating that her movement is toward us. She's moving toward us. 中文怎么说? So notice here in the image, the girl is moving away from us. She's going downstairs, but she's moving away from us. So we could say, 她下楼去. 她下楼去. So here you're going to need the directional verb 去 on the end here to indicate her movement away from us. 中文怎么说? Please buy some fruit and bring it here. So bring it toward us. 请你买一些水果来. 请你买一些水果来. So here again, we're using the directional verb 来 to suggest a movement toward us, the movement of buying fruit and bringing it to us. Now let's look at another common pattern for directional complements. Here we could say 他走上楼. 他走上楼. So here we're describing the movement of a person, right? We're saying he's walking up the steps. In this pattern, we're not indicating if the action is coming towards us or away from us. We're just simply describing the movement of a person. So we would say 他走上楼. 中文怎么说? The teacher walks into the classroom. 老师走进教室. 老师走进教室. So notice here again, we're not using any of the directional verbs 来 or 去 to indicate motion toward us or away from us. We're simply describing a situation. We're simply describing the movement of the 老师 into the classroom. But we don't know where the speaker is. We could be inside the classroom or we could be outside the classroom. It's not given in this sentence. If you want to be more specific about the movement of a person or object toward us or away from us, then you could use pattern 3. So here we could say 他走下楼来. 他走下楼来. He walked down the steps. He walked down the steps toward us. He is moving toward us. 中文怎么说? The teacher walks into the classroom. But here we want to indicate that we are in the classroom. So the teacher is walking into the classroom toward us. 中文怎么说? 老师走进教室来. 老师走进教室来. Now what if we were outside the classroom? How would we say this? We could say 老师走进教室去. Here you would simply change the directional verb 来 to 去 at the end of the sentence. 中文怎么说? My little brother jumps onto the bed. And we are on the bed. 我弟弟跳上床来. 我弟弟跳上床来. So here again, we're using the directional verb 上, which is here indicating to get onto. 床means bed, and 来is a directional verb indicating that the movement is going toward the speaker, toward us. 好的，我们来练习一下. So please reference the parenthetical information to complete the sentences below with a directional complement. You may want to pause the video here because I'm about to give away the answers. 第一，他很快地走下楼来。他很快地走下楼来。So if you look in the parentheses here, what we're saying here is 说话人在楼下. So it's saying that the person who's speaking is at the bottom of the steps. And since he's coming down the steps, that would suggest that his movement is toward us. That's why we're using 来 at the end of the sentence here. 好的，第二呢？你快一点儿跑上楼去。你快一点儿跑上楼去。So here we're telling you, 你, to quickly run up the steps. And here you're running up the steps away from us. That's why the last character we're using in this sentence is 去, movement away from the speaker. 好的，第三呢？我看见他刚才走进你的房间去。我看见他刚才走进你的房间去。So again, the speakers here are inside the room or outside the room. 说话人在房间外边, right? So the speakers here are on the outside of the room. And the movement is moving away from us. That's why the last character in this sentence is 去, indicating movement away from the speaker. For additional explanations and examples of this grammar point, please do reference your Integrated Chinese Textbook Volume 2. You'll find a ton of examples on pages 185 to 189. Complements are relatively difficult. So I mentioned earlier, so far we've studied 3 different types of complements in this lesson: potential, descriptive, and directional. For those of you wanting additional practice with directional complements, you should definitely see this website. It provides a lot of examples on how directional complements are used. So to access this website, just scan the QR code on the screen here or click on the link below in the description section of the video. I hope you find this helpful. Another recommendation I want to make in this video is probably one that you're already aware of, but in case you aren't, I think this is perhaps the most important app you could have on your smartphone, and it's called Pleco, P-L-E-C-O. Pleco is the ultimate Chinese learning companion. It has a very comprehensive dictionary with tons of examples of how to use certain words, and for some characters, it'll even tell you the correct stroke order. There's many different ways you can look up a character using Pleco, or look up a word. 1, you could simply type in the Chinese characters, or 2, you could type in the pinyin, 3, you could type in its English meaning, or 4, you could even use the handwriting input to write out the character. So the dictionary and stroke order function are entirely free. The app does have some add-on features that are relatively cheap, and I think one of them in particular is worth it. For instance, on my phone, I use the flashcard system. I think I paid about $5 for it. It's just a one-time fee, and it's really handy for saving new words that I encounter on a daily basis, and then it allows me to categorize them so I can go back and review these words at a later time. So if you don't have this app on your phone, I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you download it as soon as you can. To download the app or to get more information about this app, just scan the QR code on your screen or click on the link in the description section of the video.
And finally, once you feel comfortable with all the vocab words, characters, and grammar points from Lesson 16 Dialogue 2, don't forget to take the Lesson 16 Dialogue 2 pre-class practice quiz in Canvas before our next class session. 好的，我们就说到这儿，下次见，拜拜。